God bless everyone out there in Radio Land. This is Barry and Karen coming to you live on twitch.tv. And we're here on our Embracing Marriage Ministry. Dare to be different podcast. We're coming to you live. This is our actual weekly live podcast, and also we're doing a audio podcast of the same thing going on podbean.com. But we want you to look at it, and we have different places where you can see it, and we'll share that with you later on. Thank you each and every one of you that join us and will join us later. And we're just thrilled to be once again with you. And we're going to just talk about some things, just going to kind of just, I guess you could say, continue what we were talking about on the past couple of days. We were talking about words. We're talking about how that, first we was talking about watch your mouth. Yeah, with an F. Watch your mouth. Yeah, so we have a Watch Your Mouth series, and then the first thing we're talking about is somewhat a lesson on words. We came from Matthew 12. Discussing the good and the evil treasure in the heart. How the abundance of that the mouth speaks. So and then the next day we talked about basically in the realm of, or in the arena of marriage, we talked about watch your mouth. We also talked about how do I talk to you, and so I'm gonna kind of continue that vein a little bit, just as, like I said, just to kind of just give you a little bit of touch, I guess kind of like a little bit of housekeeping. Feel free to chat. Like I said, we are live right now. You can feel free to chat if you're joining us. I know a lot of our friends already got notifications, and some of the people got notifications. So if you're hearing this and you're hearing this live, then come join us in the chat. If you have any questions, you have any comments, you have any concerns, anything that you want to share, just feel free. Feel free. So like I said, it's more an informal kind of podcast. We're gonna just talk to you because, like I said, we want to get in the mode of really just kind of using this platform. I was supposed to do an update video. I guess I can kind of combine the two together, kind of give you an idea of what is going to go on, and then we kind of can talk about a little bit of what we're going to talk about tonight. Not much of it. It's not a whole lot of information. The only thing is that we're going to try to we're always looking for ways to expand our reach. So we haven't really discussed any other expand. Our newest thing is the gaming thing, and also our Twitch, which is at Embrace Craig. At Embrace Craig, that's where our Twitch is for this podcast. And everything that we have with Facebook and all that, we have a community for our gaming, Embrace Gaming community. We also probably will build a community for the podcast itself, a page for the podcast itself, just to kind of just keep everything equal. Actually, we do have a Google Plus for it. We don't have a separate, like a page for it, just for the podcast, but we use our Google Plus for that. We just post everything we do. We post it on the different platforms that we have, and so everybody gets it. Hello, how's it going? Spondis. Spottis, man, how you doing? How you out there? We
Hello.
thank God for you joining us, man. Thank God for you joining us. I hope I don't bore you to death.
He won't. I won't. I'm silly.
Yeah, she. If nobody else will keep you being boring, she won't. Like I say, I know this is probably not something that. Well, you see a lot of talk shows on Twitch, and you know what really surprised me was when I went on Twitch, because I do a lot of some gaming. I do some gaming on it. I think the last thing I did on it, I did play Destiny 2, and they got the new expansion. So I did the story mission on one of my characters, and I sat through that whole thing. I didn't talk or do anything. I just basically just kind of just played. And so it was like 3.5. It was out 4 hours. It was 3 hours and 58 minutes. You can go back and check it out, but it was long. So that was a long sit down. And I'm getting in the habit of being able to stream for long periods of time. Now, our podcasts are not that long. Our podcast maybe about 30, 40 minutes and we out. So, but like I said, this is one of the avenues that we reach. There's the other avenues that we go through is, like I say, our Twitter, our Facebook, our Google Plus. We have also our website, which is the main website, which is right under here. You can check it out, which is embracingmarriagetogether.wordpress.com. You can check it out and you can see it'll have links for all the different things that we do. We have follow me links. We have a place where you can follow the podcast. You got a place where you can follow the website. You can also be a follower of everything that we have. So you gonna follow us anywhere you got it, we got it there. If you follow, I found out though, like we follow our own podcast, and we also follow our own website. So if you click on the follow button for the website, every time we have a new post, because it's like a blog page, every time we post this one of these podcasts, I do an insert. So basically it treats as a post, so you'll see it. So you'll get a chance, you'll get a link that you can click, and it'll take you straight to our podcast. So, like I said, we actually are in the process of kind of just expanding our reach. I'm having issues trying to get on iTunes. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm trying to get on iTunes. So my next step is to get on iTunes, and I was Spotify still haven't heard from them, so we're working on that. And so different places where I want to put it, but we are on YouTube. If you're looking at this on YouTube, you like, share, and subscribe. Like I say, I am doing a podcast, so I have to say all this stuff. But tonight, we want to talk about the difference between positive and negative speech.
Yeah.
Especially in the case of, and I think tonight we'll just use it in like I said, the arena of marriage. But this could relate to any relationship that you can do. Since I'm on the gaming site, I'm reaching gamers. I'm gonna kind of put this in the perspective of it being a website for us, for gamers and also for married folk. Because there are a lot of guys out there that are married, that are gamers. I have followed a few, and a few of them, and they pretty neat guys. So, and so they actually have their wives on with them, and I decided, well, if I was going to do this, I was going to do it with her. Just for those that don't know us, again, I want to reintroduce myself. And we're Barry and Karen Craig. We've been married for 20 years. It'll be 20 years this year. We have 5 kids, 8 grandkids, 1 great grandchild. Yeah, we are great grandparents. Yeah, we just look real good. So we live here in Texas, and we are actually been here for years. My wife, I met her in the former church where I come from, Cathedral of Praise, and with Apostle McKinley August. He's our father in the ministry, and also we're members of Cathedral Church here in Beaumont, Texas, in which is Pastor Randy Suzanne Felshaw. And so we've been there for 3 years. We actually had a ministry before, and my brother and I actually were doing a podcast before, based on the ministry we had before. And since we let it go, he's in charge of that now, and so now we're doing a new thing. And we're focusing mainly on our marriage. And this podcast, basically, there to be different podcasts, is basically just a podcast on general things, just on life, talking about different things and what happened. We did address certain issues. I'm a person that's in current affairs and always kind of keep up with what's going on. And some things I kind of keep up with mostly, and a lot of stuff I just don't. So I just kind of avoid some things. Some things are useless. You know, you don't want to talk about everything and anything. But for sure, the biggest thing that's going on right now, I think, is just this school shooting, and a lot of people talking about, other than this royal wedding they just had. That's a big deal, you know. Because one thing about the media, whatever gets the most ratings, that's what they're going to focus on the most. Sad to say, at one particular time, at that particular time when it happened, which is tragic in itself, we actually, in our last podcast, I sent out our condolences and prayed for the people that were going through that. But like I say, a lot of people don't realize that when the media takes this stuff, they just run with it. So a lot of times I like to find a little crazy stuff, and so just to kind of share. I think it was one particular time I was looking through some stuff, and they had this guy who took his mom to the prom. Since it's around by prom time, I'll just share this story with you. He took his mom to the prom because his mom had him when he was young, and she never got a chance to go to the prom because she was raising him. So he found out about it, and he didn't. And of course, you know, we saw the young man, he could have gotten a prom date, you know, and she could have enjoyed the moment. She wasn't really. She was hardworking. She raised him by herself. And she was a real good mom to him, and he was, you know, he was a good guy, real good guy. So what he decided to do, he says, to show his appreciation to her for her sacrifice for him, he decided to take her to the mall, to the prom. And he actually, he did the whole deal. He got her dressed, and they fixed her up, and they got, you know, and it was nice, you know. She was pretty young. She wasn't that old. And so they ended up taking her, he ended up taking her mom to the mall, to the prom. I was saying mom, but he's saying the prom. And I thought that was neat, because the simple fact is that you don't get too many youth, especially next generation, that appreciate their mothers like that. And you know, I commend him for the action that he did, taking his mom. You know, some people probably don't want to be around their mothers, you know, but he decided he was proud of his. And so, and it's always good, you know, to, you know, have somebody to bring with you that won't embarrass you. That's what they fixed it up nice so she can go. But the thing is that kind of stuff, that kind of stuff is nice, because, like I say, that shows that we still have people in the world that really care, you know. But back to words. The book, well, like I said, we can, I'm gonna pull up something right quick. The book of, I think I'm gonna go different tonight, because one of the things that we talked about was the tongue. And I think I'm going to go with Book of James this time and kind of talk about that, because I believe that people need to see, you know, some of the things that they say and how it affects other people. So I'm going James 3. Like I said, I'm not going to be preachy. Just going to kind of we're just going to talk. I need something that's a base. So let's read a little bit of that, and then we're going to go from there. I'm going to tell you more about us. So I'm reading this in James 3 in the New Living Translation. It says, "Dear brothers and sisters, now many of you should become teachers in the church, for we who teach will be judged more strictly. Indeed, we all make many mistakes. For if we could control our tongues, we will be perfect. We can also control ourselves in every way. We can make a large horse go wherever we want by means of a small bit in its mouth. And a small rudder makes a huge ship wherever the pilot chooses to go. Even though the winds are strong. In the same way, the tongue is a small thing that makes grand speeches. But a tiny spark can set a great forest on fire, and among all the parts of the body, The tongue is a flame of fire. It is a whole world of wickedness, corrupting your whole entire body. And it is set your whole life on fire, for it is set on fire by hell itself. So he goes on to talk about how everything can be tamed, but the tongue can't be tamed. It's full of the deadly poison and whatnot. He says goes down, and the thing that I wanted to really talk about was the next verse, which was saying, sometimes it praises our Lord and Father, and sometimes it curses those who are made in the image of God. And so blessing and curses come pouring out of the same mouth. Surely, brothers and sisters, this is not right. So now, the thing is, it's not right. So right and wrong words. So you wanna make sure that when you're speaking, you want to speak the right things. We did last time. We talked about how you can speak the truth in love, or how you speak words that is good to the use of edifying. Don't let no rotten conversation come out your mouth. A lot of folk are rotten. To give you an example of a rotten word, when you have people that basically just talk about bad things all the time, and they never have a good thing to say, always negative, they never have a good day. You ask them how they doing, oh man, it's same old blankety blank, and never a good moment. And I have a coworker like that, bless his heart.
And you know what? A lot of times you find people that's like that. They bitter.
Yeah.
This bitter.
Yeah, bitterness is.
They talk like that a lot.
Yeah, bitter people talk like that a lot, and especially if they've been embittered by their circumstance or by their job, whatever the case might be. They just don't feel that they feel life has treated them or dealt them a good hand, or a fair hand at least. So they just basically just walk around negative all the time.
Right.
So I've never been a person just to always want to just be negative. I can't be around negative folk. I just don't. I can't be around people that's constantly negative, that's never happy about anything, and it takes a lot out of you when you're dealing with negative people.
It do.
And so, especially when you're speaking negative words, and that's what I was saying before, when you're speaking negative words, you are affecting how you feel, how you think, how you act. You're affecting them by what you say. And there have been times, like I say, bringing this into marriage, there have been times when my wife and I, like I say, in the 20 years we've been married, we've had a lot of stuff happen. And we've said a lot of stuff. The thing that we, especially in the midst of conversations, midst of these heated fellowships, I would always tell her, especially when we learned that there are certain words that you just don't say. These are some of the words that you don't say during an argument. Always.
Yeah, yes, Lord.
Do not, and this is number one, do not, and this is marriage 101, do not, if you're in an argument, do not do this. Don't say, you always, don't put that person name, you always do this, or you always say that, or you always act like this. That will make the person, that'll put the person in a place where you're saying that they always do it, which they may have done it occasionally, and they may have done it infrequently, but you make them look like they've done it all the time. Yeah. Always means all the time.
All the time. Every time you open
every time you open your mouth, you
your
lying.
Actions, your words, your deeds, is like this is what you always.
Always. Don't when you in the argument, don't say always. Find another adjective. Don't say always. Say, well, you from time to time you may do this, or occasionally you may do this, but when you do this, it bothers me. See, it's a way that you communicate. See, our problem is that we don't communicate effectively.
Right.
We don't fight fair, so then we fight dirty, and then we wonder why everything is going bad.
Yeah, especially when you're hitting below the belt.
Yeah, because we trying to hurt one another really by what you say.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. Let no corrupt or rotten communication proceed out of your mouth. but that which is good to the use of edifying or building up, that you may minister grace to the hearer.
Right.
So the person that needs to hear you needs to hear grace in your voice instead of disgrace in your voice. So you don't want to be disgraceful. You want to be graceful. You want to be extend grace to the people that are around you, the people that are near you. You don't want to ever do anything to be disgraceful. So that's one word you don't use. Another word that you don't use during an argument is never. You never do such and such. The other one is obviously always doing it, but then you turn around, you never treat me right, or you never say the right thing, or you never act like this, or you never act like that, or you never go here, or you never do this. And so that's another one. Don't say never. Don't say never, because that's not going to help you. Use another adjective. Again, from time to time, you may not do this. No. You may not.
Yeah, practice make perfect.
Yeah,
so
we got
because we are still.
Yeah, we still doing it. Sometimes we get you in the emotional. When you're emotional, a lot of the stuff that we tell you, you're gonna go out the window. You're gonna say everything we tell you not to say.
Yes,
we done it.
Yeah, because this is a matter of slowing down to think. And a lot of times, we should not always and never. It's because we feel like the other person. We're trying to get our point across.
Yeah.
And so we feel like, well, I'll just speak for me. He's not getting it.
Yeah.
He don't get it. He don't get it. And you say always and never and all this stuff because all you wanted to do is wanted to change, and you wanted to stop. Do this. Instead of saying, hey, I would like if you do this and just be more specific. We just blurting out, you always, you never, And basically, we're not saying what we really wanting to say.
Yeah.
And what we're not requesting or saying, well, this is what I would like, or this is what I would want. The words don't never come.
Yeah.
We don't say, we really not saying what we mean. We just say, you don't never, well, instead of saying, well, you don't never, we need to say, well, I would like for you to,
And that's... And that's the number 3 thing that I want to say. Always make a request, never demand. Always make a request, never demand. See, if you want to make a request, if you want somebody to do something from you, make a request. Ask. Don't demand. Because you're going to get it'll be a whole lot easier for you to be able to put it in a request versus when you tell them that this is, you command or demand them to do it.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of people don't like to be demanded to do anything. Most folk don't like to be demanded to do anything.
No one that I know.
Yeah, nobody that you can't, without them reacting in a negative way.
Yeah.
And so you can't really command or demand anybody anything unless you got bars on your shoulder and you got a full bird on your chest or you got a badge. Yeah. You can't demand anybody to do anything, especially a couple. If you're the husband or you're the wife and something's going on and they want you to do, you want them to do something, you do not come to them like this. You gonna do this and you gonna do this right now. Yeah. Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do it? When you gonna do it? No, that's not how it's gonna work.
Even if you want something to change about that person. You find yourself demanding them to change. Because
when you gonna change?
Yeah, like I had an incident. We was in the car. I'm like, when is this gonna stop?
When is this gonna stop?
When is this gonna stop? I'm sick. I need to know now. When is gonna stop?
Yeah, that's.
I need an answer. You need to tell me when you gonna stop doing this. And I was like going there, like like this need to stop now. So you need to tell me.
Yeah.
And that was demanding, and that was this. And I was emotional. I was in my feelings, and I was knee deep in my feelings.
Yeah, and it doesn't take long to get there. It doesn't take long because I know that I'll get as soon as she get there, I'll go there. And
it gets you nowhere.
Yeah,
it gets you nowhere. So you still have to calm down and say what you mean, say what you're wanting. Make your requests in a nice, sweet, lovable way.
Yeah.
you know. But sometimes
You may not, and if you still kind of bothered about it, it may not come out right and sweet and all.
like we
But
saying it,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, you may, but it's still a way where you can be able, once you calm down,
Yeah.
you can be able to talk to people and tell them and request of them what you want.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when we get into situations, and I go to the point, I just ask her, I say, what do you want from me? What do you want?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She'll tell you. I'll ask her, what do you want? Because that's what it really boils down to.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
do you want? Because all this other stuff is
It don't mean nothing.
It don't mean nothing.
No.
Because we go through all and because the only reason why I know my wife is really upset because she repeats herself. Because I kind of like she'll tell you, like she said earlier, she'll figure I don't get it. She figured, that by her repeating it, that I should pick it up. I should get the clue. But I've been the guy the first 6, 7, 8 times when she said it. But she thinks that I don't get it. So it's frustrating to hear it again once you've gotten it the first time, and then you hear it a third time, and then and so I have to kind of try to find a way to just stop it, and say, hey, I said, I heard you the first time, and I heard you the other time. I said, what do you want? And I'm telling you what I want. Okay, well, then I have to verify. You have to verify that you've heard what that person said.
Right.
And so the thing is that it goes back to the scripture I read. The good man out of the good treasure of his heart bring forth good things, and the evil man of the evil treasure bring forth the evil thing. So when he said before that, he said, how can you be an evil who speak good things? So the thing is that it's for the out abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. So because of that, whatever's in you the most is what's going to come out of you. So so make sure that what you put in you is what you want to come out. So if you listen, say for example, you listen, like I gave you this example, you listen to music that cuss, that talk down on women, that talk about cheating and talk about shooting or whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
Guess what? How you gonna talk? Because that's what's the most is in you. That's what's gonna come out of you. I've seen a lot, and the reason why, and the reason I can tell you, I've been around people, or I've seen people that they act like they from the street, ghetto, might well say it, and you listen to the music that they listen to. They're listening to that crazy music that's feeding that spirit. That's the spirit that actually happens to come on people, and it feeds them. And so you have that going, and it feeds them and makes them continue. You continue filling yourself up, so that all it's going to do is basically come out what you put in. Go ahead. What,
Yeah.
you finna say that?
Oh, go ahead. You, back. I think I did have a thought, but
Go ahead.
I guess this is just a little nugget I want to throw in there. I think we did a lesson. It wasn't too long ago. I think it said there's a way that seemeth right.
Yeah.
And a lot of things I had to learn that I was saying. I was saying it because it seemed right to say.
Yeah.
It seemed right to say this. Then the way I said it seemed right. So,
Yeah.
and I didn't think before I was speaking, just blurting it out because it just seemed right to say at the time.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that to you, don't do that, because we do it a lot, because it just seem like the right thing to say, the right thing to do, and just blurting out stuff.
Yeah.
And all you're doing is causing harm and hurt
Yeah.
and danger to your marriage or
Yeah.
relationship, whatever
Yeah.
you have, whatever, because this could be used in any area.
Yeah, because like I say, it is mostly
It can affect any relationship there is. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a marriage, but we're pertaining to marriage because that's what we talk about. So we talk mostly about marriage. We talk about relationships, like I say, we talk about work and family and different things like that. But we mostly talk about marriage because that's what we're into now.
Yeah.
That's where our ministry is going. Because before we were more roundabout ministry, but we noticed that the marriage part of our ministry was really growing more than the rest of it. So we say, we knew it, and also too we knew that God was taking us in that direction. So we kind of just,
Yeah. So we learned a lot. I think even from the beginning, you did learn to do that. I think you learned how to do that early on.
yeah,
When you would ask me, you say, I think you asked me one question one time. You had asked me what was wrong because you would talk, I wouldn't talk.
yeah,
And you had asked me one question, and you see how. I think I told you, I can't remember the question that you asked, but I did remember telling you that you talk to everybody better
yeah.
than you talk to me. So
Yeah, that
that's-
was I remember that.
Mhm.
We was up pretty late that morning, and I was trying to get her to tell me what's going on with her
Yeah.
because she was having this emotional thing,
Mhm.
and I had no idea what was going on with it. And I said, you know what? Because we went by the scriptures that says, not to
Go to bed.
be angry, sin not,
Right.
don't let the sun go down on your wrath. So, and a lot of people we were taught, don't go to bed angry.
Yeah.
Well, we learned that from experience that if you go to bed angry, you're gonna wake up angry.
Yes.
So we wanted to settle that before we even got up. So
Yeah.
what we ended up doing, he stayed up a little while, and it was a little while,
Mhm.
and we ended up. She finally came out and saying that I treated everybody better than I treated her,
Mhm.
and I had no idea that I was doing that.
Yeah.
And so when I ended up doing better in my attitude.
Yeah, because you made a lot of progress how you would talk to me and how you would handle me. So
Yeah.
you did so and to this very day you still do that. Yeah, you still do the same thing. You'll ask me.
Yeah,
So,
I'll actually, because like I say, from time to time, I want to know what's going, and it's good for you to know,
Mhm.
what's going on with the person that you're with. You don't want to ever be in the dark.
Yeah, you don't want to assume. That's
Mm-mm.
another thing.
No.
You don't want to assume, especially in your communication.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Assuming
Oh,
something,
yeah.
because oh boy, let me
Yeah.
tell you, yeah, we have a testimony about the assuming thing,
Yeah,
insinuating stuff, and what are you trying to say, or what you saying, what you say, So a lot of that stuff, that's not good.
no,
Come out and just ask the person,
Yeah.
what are you saying? Because a lot of times when you trying to communicate or get your point across, a lot of stuff is, you're assuming this, you're assuming that, and a lot of stuff you're assuming is not the truth
Yeah.
at all.
it's not.
It's not. We
But-
done had a lot of stuff just assuming.
Yeah, yeah, assumption. Like you say, they got a thing they say, but I can't say it. But it does. It does make you look bad. Just saying like that.
Yeah.
Don't say it like that.
Yeah.
But like I said, we actually, we do have different podcasts on marriage. We have different podcasts on just general life lessons, because that's basically what we talk about. We're not counselors. We have counsel because we're pastors, but we don't counsel anymore. But we do give you advice according to what God has told us and how He shared with us. And so that's basically what we do. We do share this like we do now. Our podcast mostly are pre-recorded. Like I said, this is only live. So if you are kind of experiencing, because I'm having some issues, this OBS. If you actually hit me in the chat, if you actually are listening to this in the chat, if you are joining us, leave me in the chat. Let me know if there are any drop, if it's coming through anyway, because I'm having issues here. So let me know if something. Hit me in the chat. Let me know if it's there. If I am there. If not, if it does not come through, I have this pre-recorded. I'll just upload it and we'll have it. It'll just be a pre-recorded situation. But we try to do this live once a week. I'm going to have it more of us doing this more. Just kind of get my. See, you have to understand. My wife, she's never really done this at all. You believe it or not, she's doing better. She's learning. And to be able to stand in front of that camera and to be able to talk to people and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, because this is new to me,
Yeah.
and I'm very, very, very nervous.
Yeah, she's nervous.
I'm nervous for real, for real.
But she's doing good, like I say, considering, I was doing this myself for a while, and so I'm used to it. I'm used to talking in front of people. I'm used to talking on and just talking, period. I'm used to doing that. she's not. She's always been in the background ministry. She's never really been in the forefront and talking and stuff like that. So she talks to me and she talks to people she's around, but she don't like do like public speaking. Or I did more public speaking, so she'll come and support me, you know, and that was how she did. So thank God for that.
Yeah.
And like I say, well, we're just keep us in prayer. And like I say, we're gonna make this short tonight. We're not gonna spring it out loud, usual 45. But like I say, if you're listening to this on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you're on Twitch, you can become a follower on Twitch. We're not partners, affiliates yet. We're working on that. Once we get affiliate, you can throw some bits our way, kind of show us some love, and also to follow us and just keep up with our podcast. If you're, like I say, listening to us on YouTube, you can not only hit like, share, and subscribe to it, but also hit the notification bell. Hit that bell. That'll give you a notification every time we post a new video. Check us out, like I said, on our website, embracingmarriagetogether.wordpress.com. Soon we're going to shorten that up, so y'all won't have to say all that.
Yeah, so tonight I just want y'all to remember, just do the right thing.
Yeah.
Watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth.
Watch what you say.
Yeah, with an F. God bless you. God bless you. We'll see you on the next time.
Good night and be encouraged.
Amen.